Dibbs D BSMA DLA.mil reference help frequently asked questions default. So this is your defensive logistics agency internet bid board system. All right, getting started registration. How to get it started? I've registered with the SAM, but I keep getting an error message says you're not SAM registered. Registration is processed, which I do. And complete a new DIMB Dibbs. How do I register registration for all other suppliers? I like to be notified when solicitations are posted in the Dibbs. Can I set up this during the registration process? All right, user ID and password. Forgot ID. User ID. Have a user ID password problems. My account is locked. Draw and bids. Set. All right, how do I know if the solicitation has a drawing? I have a trouble downloading the bid set. What did I do wrong? How do I copy a restricted drawing? How do I get a copy of a restricted drawing? How do I view an order drawings? Solicitation search. On my request for recently frequent RFQs, submitted quotes, request for quote or submitted quote, search result pages, the various icons, capital red F, capital SB, as well as others, the icon mean. Can I fax my quote? Can I find a particular solicitation? What am I doing wrong? When search a solicitation, I get a message, a requirement, no available Dibbs. Will I be able to quote this? The solicitation requires our origin inspection quote form, asking place inspection supply, cage code, place inspection packaging code, cage code. What do I do for this? I noticed the solicitation have different numbers and fourth position solicitation number. Why? I need some additional information, particularly with the NSN or solicitation. Who do I contact? The part number use unit of issue packaging somewhere else in the solicitation. Where do I contact the issue? What is the difference between a bid without exemption and a bid with exemption? How do I submit my quote to Dibbs? Can I submit my quote after closing date? Can I change my quote once it has been submitted? How do I know if I submitted my quote successfully? Can I quote price breaks? Have I supplied the item in the past to the government, and have I been approved? And I'm not listed as a source on the solicitation. Cage code of approved sources and part number has changed. Incorrect on the solicitation. How do I get a quote? Awards. I need to find an award. How do I do this? I don't see the award attachments. How do I find them? A vendor other than lowest bidder was awarded contract. Why did they get the award? An award my prior to closing date. How can this happen? Super user my account. Our super user has left the company. How do I change my super user account? I need to change my email address. How to do that? I'm leaving my company. I need to designate another employee as a super user. How do I do that? Alternate offers. I make a part that is not listed and approved for the how do I get a cage code and part number approved. Surplus. How do I submit an offer to surplus material? Error messages. Why do I keep getting error messages? I keep getting message HTTP 403.128-bit encryption not enabled. What does this mean? I'm still having internet problems. Where can I find out more about Internet Explorer? How can I keep getting a stop error message picture of a soldier? What is this? Alright, Dibbs session. Why do I keep getting timed out on Dibbs? What should I log out? Why should I log out of Dibbs? I'm still confused. Do I have any other type of Dibbs training? Miscellaneous. Where can I find special provisions? Clause. Help. What should I do to contact in trouble using Dibbs? What do I contact having trouble using C folders? Alright, question 1. Getting started with registration. How do I get started? Do the business with a defensive logistics agency. Vendors need with the DUNS number, the Duns and Bradstreet DAD universal number system. You must register with the System Award Management. If you do not have a cage code, one will be assigned to you when you complete your SAM's registration. Next, register the Dibbs the Defensive Logistics Agency Internet Bid Board System. If unfamiliar with it, Dibbs is a web-based system such as registration online. During registration, a temporary personal identification number will be emailed to you. After the PIN will be prompted to create a new password. Use the ID and password. You can log on, submit a quote. Once you finish registering, You then will be able to log in with your new user ID and password to submit a quote. Dibbs system features are explained in the Dibbs registration instruction guidelines. Once you have registered with the Dibbs are ready to quote, consult with the Dibbs online quoting help. Once this page, you find business and default values, submitting bids that are through web quote form, as well as batch quote guidance and EDI submissions. For registered with the SAMs, I've kept getting an error message. You're not registered with the SAMs registration problem. What should I do? New user, when you have completed your registration with the SAM system, status will show active within 2 or 3 days. Dibbs will automatically be notified with the SAMs that you are registered. At this time, you will be able to register and use the Dibbs system. Existing users, SAM registration is valid for 1 year. If your registration has expired, you will need to re-register SAMs, then again to re-register with SAM, and then again to Dibbs. Again, you have 1 to 2 day waiting period. If you continue to have the problem with SAM's registration, please contact the System Award Management System or SAMS.gov. Determine the activity status with the SAMS database button, enter cage code, and submit query button. Alright, 3. I'm completely new to Dibbs. How do I do registration? Registration for all other suppliers. Registration is required with a login, account, password, conduct transactions over the restricted portion of the Dibbs, or submitting electronic quotes, requests for quotes. To register, email address association, award notification, Dibbs items, details, system requirements, instruction for registration can be found on the Dibbs homepage. A few highlights of the information found included on the Dibbs homepage. Vendor registration likely to be with the registration process. In order for registration to access the secure portion of Dibbs, the company you are representing must also be registered with the System Award Management System. Alright, a cage registration will be processed. User ID will appear on the registration scene. Cage already has a registered Dibbs. The name and the email address of the super user will be provided. Contact the super user and set up additional accounts. 4. I'd like to be notified when sort of solicitations are posted in Dibbs. Can I set up this during registration process? Dibbs registration can only contains an optional vendor-directed solicitation notice, which allows the super user to directly email notification new solicitations that match the FSC, NSC, and approved manufacturing code for in this profile. Alright, user ID and password. I forgot my user ID. How can I obtain it? User can get obtain the forgot the user ID associate email address. I forgot user ID. Link on the login screen. Enter the email address. Press in the submit button. Then a user ID associated email address will be sent via email. Alright, 6. If you have user ID and password problems, what do I do wrong? Ensure you're attempting to log into Dibbs. Make sure that you're registering the Dibbs. Verify the super IDs and also the cage code filed with a 0 and 1. If no non-super user, your ID cage code filed with a subsequent number as after 01. They're alpha cage codes. They're always uppercase examples of the A, B, C, D, E, O, 1. Users can obtain the forgot user ID associate with the email address forgot USI user ID with a link on the login screen. Passwords are case sensitive. Use the forgotten password. Failure to create a new password. The user will need to use the user ID email address record to complete the process and password formatting. Use the same computer you use when registering. You'll have the access to the Dibbs for any computer, however that may meet the technical requirements. If you're still experiencing problems, delete all temporary internet files, cold boot. Retype the address from the address bar, ask an associate what to watch and log in. If you still cannot log in, send a message to Dibbs Help Desk at dibbsbsm@dla.mil. Alright, please note the Dibbs Help desk staff cannot see change user passwords. Dibbs Helps cannot unlock your account to allow resetting of the password. Dibbs Help Desk is provided with the email during normal office hours, U.S. Eastern Time. Dibbs Help Desk is not available on weekends or holidays or nights. When contacting Dibbs Help Desk, please include the user ID cage code and identify your account details, what you are trying to do with your error and what any error messages. If you think your account is compromised, contact Dibbs Help Desk, Dibbs feedback form immediately. Alright, my account is locked. How do I get unlocked? If your account is locked due to account inactivity, Dibbs feedback form, let us know. Once unlocked, you receive the email instruction on what to do. Account unlocks Monday through Friday, approximately to 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Alright, now getting into the good stuff. Drawing and bid set. How do I know if the solicitation has a drawing? The request for quote and request proposal and the initial IFB. Initial, I guess that's for bid. Request for quote. Search results with the technical documents to display the status of the available data. Drawing status. None means the drawing is not available to the NSN. You must quote the accordance with solicitation requirement. Tech documents means technical documents is available to DLA collaboration folders. This icon is linked to the website. Tech docs DLR means technical data is available to DLA supported depot level repairables. The icon is linked to this website. Alright, I'm having trouble downloading the bid set. What did I do wrong? For bid set, posting the DLA calibration folders or C folders. General question for additional call with the DLA product data customer service helpline 1-804-279-3477. Leave a message. Representative will get back to you as soon as possible. If required, additional technical data does not support original solicitation or contract, you must contact your contracting specialist. How do I get a copy of restricted drawings? Technical data is available at https://www.dibs/bsmadla.mil for the Dibbs item with the little icon. See restricted item data for information type and access restricted folder data. General question for additional question for the DLA product data customer helpline 1-804-279-3477. Leave a message and a representative will get back to you as possible. As soon as possible. If you require technical data that was not supplied with the original solicitation contract, you must contact the contracting specialist. How do I view and order drawings? Get supposed go to the HPS DIP Dibbs ESML DLA.mil website. For document viewers, click here, document viewers, solicitation search. On request for quote, submit the quote search result page. There are various icons that read F and capital SB, as well as other. These icons mean see request for quoting icons. Can I fax my quote? Electronic quoting of the DLA Internet Board System is mandatory for request proposal, request for quotes. T and U and the 9th position solicitation number are optional under the DLA request for quotes. Alright, 14. I cannot find a particular solicitation. What am I doing wrong? You may search for the request for quote with request for proposal initial for guess that's for bid. Other requests for quotes and area vice versa. Global solicitation page, global search page. If you have trouble with the request for quote, it may be the way you're searching. Under request for quotes, custom queries, search categories for the drop-down menu of time categories. National stock number, federal supply class, solicitation number, purchase request number, nomenclature, approved part number, and approved cage. Each search value, the number next to the search value, represents the minimum number of characters you must type. For example, solicitation has 6 numbers. Type at least 6 characters, SPM 700. While the wildcard character, a asterisk, may be used following a search value. The wildcard asterisk precedes search values only permitted with nomenclature search category. So, select the scope shown in the request for proposal. Today's solicitation posted, recent solicitation posted within the last 15 days. Or open solicitation when return by date has been reached. Closed solicitation when return by date has been passed but not awarded or canceled. All solicitation open and closed have not been yet awarded or canceled. Select desired solicitation. Options show only optional. Show only items in bid sets. Show only items which have bid sets available with a download. Show only fast award candidates required pursuant to the terms of the DLA Master Solicitation Automated Simplified Acquisition. Micro purchase quotes may be awarded prior to return date. Automated solicitation designated with a T or U and the 9th position of the solicitation number that has been not designated in auction for an auction. To do the vendors identifying fast award candidates, the F icon has been added to the Dibbs for request for quote. Search results screen additional new features have added allow vendors to display FAST Awards candidates. Disclaimer: presence of the FAST Award candidates icon indicates the T and the U solicitation estimated dollar value equal less than micro purchase fair threshold. Since these are only estimates, they may encompass the TU solicitation vendor might quote equal or lesser micro purchase threshold, resulting earlier in micro purchase. Therefore, micro purchase should be submitted on as soon as possible as on all non-auctioning T&U solicitation. Alright, show only. Items with bid set shows only items which have the bid set available for download, and that's the FAST Award candidates. Pursuant to the terms of the DLA Master Solicitation Automated Solicitation resulting awards, micro purchase may be awarded prior to return date. Automated solicitation designated with a T or U in the 9th edition of the solicitation number that has not been designated for auction. See Master Solicitation. To help use vendors identifying FAST Award candidates, the FAST Award candidate icon has been added with the Dibbs request for quote search result screen. Disclaimer: the present FAST Award candidate icon indicates a T or U solicitation estimated dollar with value equal or less than micro purchase threshold. Since these only estimates they may not encompass G and U solicitations where the vendor may quote equal or less than micro purchase threshold, resulting in an early micro purchase award. Therefore, the micro purchase quote should be submitted as soon as possible on non-auctioning T&U solicitation. Alright, your small business set aside show solicitation that has been set aside for small business participation. That says the SP icon. Your hub zone set aside shows only solicitation that have been hub zone participants. Service disabled veteran owned small business set aside shows only solicitation that has been set aside for small service to disabled veteran owned small businesses. Combined set aside show only solicitation combined set asides. Unrestricted not aside shows only solicitation that is unrestricted not set aside. Woman owned small business assets show only solicitation woman owned small business set asides. Economic disadvantaged woman owned small business set aside shows only solicitation economically disadvantaged woman-owned small business set asides. Press the search button. Solicitation are posted. Issue date remain in the Dibbs and unit and cancel or awarded. 15. When searching a solicitation, I get a message requirement that no longer available on Dibbs. Will I be able to quote this? If no, the requirement for that has been removed. Dibbs due to the problem of the technical data site with the solicitation specific removed by the buyer request. It will require the technical review of the manual re-solicitate of the buyer at a later date and keep checking back periodically to check for the buyer. 16. The solicitation requires original inspection and the quote form is asking a place of inspection. Supplies a cage code, place inspection, packaging, cage code. Where do I get this information? Supplies cage code. The cage code is facility where you want a government to inspect the supplies being offered. If the faculty, facility, or plant uses a cage code, it is actually the actual manufacturer plant use their cage code. Packaging cage code. The cage code facility where you want a government inspect packaging. If your facility plant is using cage code, the packaging housing of the cage code. Alright, 17. I noticed the solicitation have different number to fourth position. Solicitation Y, site identified with the DLA supply chain, are first four position solicitation numbers. SPE 1 and 2, 3 are DLA troop support, and 4 is DLA aviation. SPA 5 the DLA troop support. SPE 7 is DLA and maritime. SPA 8 and DLA support. SPM M1 through 3 DLA troop support. SPM M4 DLA aviation. SPM 5 DLA troop support. SPM 7 DLA land maritime. No, if the letter is present with the four position solicitation associated with the DLA supported depot level repairable site, you can use the Department of Defense activity address code or DOD AAC search for additional information. You just enter the 3 and then a tally 6 position solicitation in the DOD AAC search text box. Alright, 18. If you need additional information, particular NSN solicitation, who do I contact? On the solicitation, search result with the tech doc icons display the technical documents available. If there's no technical document icon appears, drawings or specs are not available. When you click on the tech docs icon, you leave the Dibbs and being directed completely separate system. When the data is stored, contact support for assistance with the system. Important note, if after reading the solicitation associated with the tech documents you question the item buying, please directly your questions with the buyer cited in solicitation. Alright, 19. If the part number and the unit of issue packaging something else is wrong with the solicitation, what do I contact about the issue? If you believe the solicitation is incorrect, you need more information on an open solicitation, please contact the buyer in Block 5 of the solicitation document. No, Dibbs Help Desk staff provides functional technical support for the Operation Dibbs. However, they do not have detailed knowledge of individual buys. Alright, bid type 20. What is the difference between a bid without exemption and bid with exemption? Bid without exemption is indicated with a quote exact compliance with the solicitation requirements. Quotes following conditions are not met by themselves. Consider exemption. Solicitation requirements will not affect bid type. Quoting delivery different with the required delivery dates. The quoting original inspection of the solicitation required destination inspection. Quote, superseding previously approved for the part with the correction of the cage code, cage or part number cited with the AID and or item description by the manufacturer's cage and part number, and quoting you the reconditioned, remanufactured, new, used, unused government, surplus, foreign, and hazardous items. Our bid with exemption. Is you with exemption being taken in the solicitation requirements and other exemption for the item description followings are considered exemption solicitation requirements will force bid the bid and exemption. Quoting alternate product otherwise taking exemption to the solicitation item and description exemption packaging requirements exemption FOB point. Quoting designation inspection solicitation requiring original inspection exemption of the required quantity. Exceptions to the required quantity automated solicitation TU, 9th position solicitation number, quoting quantity variances outside of the acceptable range specified in the solicitation. Note, quoting bid with exemptions will preclude you from receiving automated award. Alright, 21, quoting. How do I submit a quote to the Dibbs? A user must register logged in with the Dibbs in order to submit the quotes with a request for quote solicitation. Through web form quoting, find your solicitation via the request for quoting search. Click on the Q icon displayed on the solicitation number of the search result. But after finding the solicitation which you would like to submit a quote, click on the quote button. If you're not already logged on, you will be prompted to do so. Business rules for submitting quotes are available via the online help. Click the submit. After completing the quote of the form and the reviewing synopsis of your quote for accuracy, the system will provide a message for the quote substantial, successful, or unsuccessful. Submitted quotes may be viewed until such a time requirement is awarded or canceled. Revision of the quote, sometimes on the behalf of the cage, will overlay any previously submitted quote for the same requirement. Users are reminded representation certification incorporated with the individual quotes and the binding of the entirety. Any penalties, misrepresentation contained in the reference provisions will apply. Misrepresentations of business status of the Federal FARS Regulation 52.29191, paragraph D2. If you know solicitation number which you would like to quote, you may fast track quote. Use fast track quoting. Use direct. What do you directly go to? Directly stop at one quote for the bypassing request for quote search. You can also quote multiple solicitations through a batch quoting. Batch quoting allows quoting of the request for the quotations. The batch upload quotes are prepared offline and prescribed with a comma delimited format and then uploaded via the internet. You can find a batch download for the welcome page. You will first log on to Dibbs under the solicitation tab of the home page. Alright, 22. Can I submit my quote after closing date? On request for quotes, the solicitation return date and time is not firm closing date. If the quotation button will remain available till closing unless it has been awarded or canceled. Last quotes will only be considered if the contracting officer determines that it is then their best interest of the government, and accepting the last quote would unduly delay the award. Note, if the return date fails Saturday, Sunday, and federal holiday, it will be deemed extended to the next business day. 23. Can I change a quote once it has been submitted? Yes, you can quote revisions to overlay previously submitted quotes on the same solicited government database. Quotes may be withdrawn by submitting the revised quote as explained, choosing no bid under the drop-down menu of the bid type. Make sure you submit your quote and get the message your quote has been successfully submitted. To revise your quote, the option 1, request for quote searching, you must be logged on, find solicitation request for quote searching. On request for quote search results, click the green check mark icon and make the necessary changes and submit your quote again. Option 2, log in, go to my account or quotes, search submitted quotes. Once you have found the quote you want to revise, hit the blue Q or triangle revise button to revise the quote. Alright, 24. How do I know what I submitted with the quote successfully? A user must be registered, logged in, and secured with a section of the DIBS to be ordered in order to submit quotes. After finding solicitation on which would likely submit the quote using the request for quote search, click on the red quote icon. If you're not already logged on, you will be prompted to do so. Once you have completed the required fill-in, check your quote accuracy and click on the submit. Complete with the quote form. The system provides a message that submit was successful, unsuccessful, all unsuccessful. So quotes will not be corrected or will need to be corrected and resubmitted. Your quote is not recorded until it's some successful prompt. You may want to print a copy of the page that says your quote was successfully submitted for your record. Submitted quotes may be reviewed by the Department of Dibbs Services until such time requirement awarded canceled. Alright, 25. Can I get a quote break? The breaks and price breaks option display in the TU and Q. Select solicitations, enter price break ranges until unit prices and the blocks provided in accordance with the DLAD 52213 9000. Although price break ranges are not used in an automated evaluation program, the buyer may use ranges if the drops manual evaluation, and for Q solicitations may put quantity price marks in the marks section. Use the remarks block of the quantity prices with the T and U solicitation will preclude you from receiving an automated award. Alright, 26. I have supplied an item in the past for the government and I have been approved, but I'm not listed as a source on solicitation. If you think you are approved to supply the item but are not listed in solicitation as a supplier, select previously evaluated award. Use a part number offered. Fill in on your quote. Enter the approved cage code part number. You may still get a quote and bid without exemption. 27. The cage code of the approved surf of the part number has been changed with incorrect solicitation. How do I get a quote? If there has been any change in configuration, probably the offered item will be identified with the alternated product. If only the manufacturing cage code has changed, the item must be identified with the correction cage and part number cited with the acquisition identification data or aid. Bid type that's not affected, you may quote the bid without exemption. If the part number has been changed, that has no change for the configuration. Offered part will be identified with the superseding part number. Bid type is not affected, you may quote the bid without exemption. 28. I need to find an award. How do I do this? Information award modifications can be accessed with the DIBS award with the top level menu button labeled awards. Note, DIBS is not permanent document repository. Documents will be removed according to the DIBS document retention policy. Once the award has been removed, the DIBS and DIBS help desk staff cannot provide it to you. The documentation you need with the DIBS, please contact Administration, DLA, Defense Logistics Agency, Freedom of Information Act, and Privacy Act Office for the information. 29. I don't see the award attachments. How do I find them? DLA awards the award. I have the award numbers being with the SPE and identified with the EPROC icon on the DIBS search result. If there's attachment of the award of the document, you will find the section titled attachments with a subsection titled list attachments. On the last page, the following other steps will follow to access the attachment if you're Adobe Reader 10 using Adobe Reader 10. Step on the older version of the Adobe Acrobat Reader may vary. Last Adobe Acrobat Reader can be downloaded with the Adobe Reader. No, the third-party software for support, please contact Adobe directly. Open the PDF document either with a link in the email notification search award with the DLA Internet Bid Board system. Position the cursor over the center of the award document floating the top bars. Click the Adobe Acrobat Reader login on the right end of the toolbar. 4. This opens the toolbar on the left side of the award document. 5. And on this toolbar, click the paper lip icon. 6. This will open the last attachment left-hand side of the award document. Click each attachment to list them in view. Alright, 30. A vendor other than the lowest bidder was awarded with the contract. Why did they get the award? The award may have been via automated award program, DLA master solicitation, automated simplified acquisition. States that all quotes at T and U solicitation. 3. The quote is strict conformance of government requirements, exact product quantity and packaging marking point in its selection. A bid that was quoted, with the bid without exemption. You did not specify packaging point inspection will not be considered, even if it is the lowest bid. Your quote must also have been submitted in a timely manner. So, Alright, 31. An award was made prior to the closing date. How does this change? Please refer to the DLA Master Solicitation Automated Simplified Acquisitions on or page 3 of the Master Solicitation. You'll find Fast Auto Evaluation icon. The Dibbs search results screen identified with Fast Auto Evaluation Solutions or solicitations. These solicitations are estimated to be less with the micro purchase threshold. Now, they are not set aside with the small business solicitations, or maybe the award with the solicitation return date commence at 3 p.m. one business day after the issue date and continue every day after that thereafter 3 p.m. till the return date, and all quotes equal to becoming the micro purchase threshold will be evaluated DLA's automated evaluation program for an early award. 32. Super user in my account. Our super user has left the company. How to change the user account? If it's a good idea to have 2 people that we are trained as super users, while only one user of the super user ID password when using the system. This will allow the smooth transition. Super user leave with the super user leave backup of the cage code information will have to be reset, may be prevented within quoting a 3 to 4 day will take place. If, however, the primary super user leaves, backup user just go into my account, update the super user and email and information. If you ever do not have people trained and the super user leaves, you notify with the Dibbs feedback form. You can also access the navigation drop down menu for any of the Dibbs of the following information. Super user has left the company. Need to have the account and delete the Dibbs technical team information. Current registration cage will be deleted. This must register for the Dibbs in order to create a new super user account. Alright, 33. I need to change the email address. How do I do that? Super user can update the access account information and log in the Dibbs. Go to my account located at the top of the page. Update the vendor profile. Note that the super user has changed with the contact with the Dibbs help desk staff using Dibbs feedback form. Your registration will have been deleted. We will need to register with the Dibbs in order to quote. 34. I'm leaving my company and need to designate another employee with a super user. How do I do that? Dibbs, you change with the super user data on your account. You can get the point no longer needs to access Dibbs. You will suggest the following and super user account to over the next person. Log in, welcome the page of the hot links box accounts user. Click edit, change the username, phone number, email address. So to the new super user, click on the update and save. New super user will have to use use forgot password, change password. Already the account will want to keep the one to access the C folders. User ID folder profiles cannot be changed in the system. I do not already have the account, but I need C folders. Check docs. I need to create another account in the name of the registration C folder system. Alright, alternate offers. I make part of this is not listed with approved source. How do I get a cage code and part number approved? If the solicitation listed an approved manufacturer, you must provide the manufacturer cage code, part number to wish to supply your own part. Recognize approved source. You will have to submit a bid with the alternate approved with the T and U for the solicitation following applies. Offers alternately, products will be evaluated current procurement with a DLAD 52-217-9002. You must submit the requested location below the evaluation alternative product technical applicability to the future procurements of the same item. The request for the evaluation shall state the national stock number, the exact product identified with the provisions include applicable level of the technical data, alternate exact products All offers additional alternate products handled with the according with the DLAD 177501B and 4. For additional information, see DLAD DLAD 52 2017 9002 condition evaluation acceptance for the other offer part number insert items. Alright, surplus. How do I submit an offer for surplus material? Surplus offers submitted with the Dibbs of the quote, Dibbs quote, input form, materials requirements, select yes. From the drop down menu, select use, recondition, remanufacture, new use, unused, surplus. You complete with the DLAD 52 to 11 9000 government surplus material form. Online with the other selecting yes, when asked, complete surplus cert now, and supporting documentation include labels, which are provided offline with the buyer. Note that the price evaluations are added to the total quote price. A $200 evaluation factor is added with quoting surplus material on non-critical items. $700 quoting surplus on critical items. And if applicable, labels will be requested on the needed basis for additional information. Read surplusing offers for the DLA Masters Automated Simplified Acquisition. Alright, your error message. Why do I keep getting an error message? If you keep getting error message for the Dibbs, please contact the Dibbs technical staff, the Dibbs at bsm@dla.mil. Be prepared to give following information. Type of hard drive you are using. IBM compatible Pentium 32 megabyte RAM. Operation system, you have the Windows 95, 98, or NT. The exact word and messages appeared on the screen. You can use the print screen located with the right hand side with the keyboard start button located with the bottom left hand side with the go to start programs, access, repaint. Then click edit paste and will allow the copy of the message displayed on the print. Description of what happened you were doing and the problem occurred. A description of how you would try to solve the problem. Alright, 38. I keep getting the error message HTTP 403.128-bit encryption not enabled. What does this mean? The message indicates the browser is not 128-bit encrypted or enabled. Even though you have padlock shown, it does not mean that you are 128-bit compatible. If you're using more recent visible versions than Firefox, Microsoft Internet Explorer, a padlock icon should appear below the portion of the browser indicating that the Dibbs service is secure. 39. I'm still having internet problems. What can I find out more about the internet? Microsoft Internet Explorer's tip. You can delete the website page of the history list and click on the website folder web page and click delete. Clearing and deleting the history will also change the color of the Dibbs links back to unvisited color. Caution note that if deleted website Internet Explorer deletes the folders, all links to that page were stored in that folder. Alright, 40. I keep getting a stop error message and picture of a soldier. What is this? System error has occurred. Try to action again and problem persists. Contact the Dibbs Help Desk, Dibbs Feedback Forum. Alright, your Dibbs session. Why do I keep getting a time down with the Dibbs? Dibbs account time with a secure feature. Your account logged in with the Dibbs system. System is idle for 15 minutes. There is no time mechanism except for the inactivity of the constitute activity of the system, but you must submit the information with the system. Just filling out the form, sending the information does not constitute activity between the web page and request information with the form, the database. Log out when you are finished with the Dibbs. Close your session. For security systems, Dibbs are only allowed to activity of the session with a per user closed browser logged in with the Dibbs, you will have 15 minutes before you can get back the Dibbs. New open multiple Windows Dibbs you can need to log on Dibbs. Then open the new Windows browser menu selection keyboard shortcut. Typical menu selection to do file new window. Typical keyboard Control N. Keyboard shortcut Control N. Alright, why should I get a why should I log out of Dibbs? Logging out when you are finished with the Dibbs and close session for a security system. Dibbs only allows one active session per user. If you close your browser and have not logged out of Dibbs, you have the least to wait 15 minutes before you can get back into the Dibbs. Alright, Dibbs training. I'm still a little confused. Do you have any Dibbs training? Training of the offered with the Dibbs related with the related topic DSCC, DSCP, DSCR, DSCC, DSCP, DSCR. Websites, information, training topics, classes, schedule, location, DIOD, procurement, technical assistant, cooperative, Agreement Program, No Information Procurement Technical Assistance Center, located located across the country, can be contacted for support. All right, miscellaneous. Where can I find specific provisions and clauses? How can I find required reference to clauses of the DLA, Freedom of Information Act, Privacy Act? Important to become familiar with the master solicitation, especially with a few pages. Spells out guidelines, dictated rulers, automated solicitation period, awards, price breaks, options, TU and Q, stock quotes, price ranges, price oven in the books provided in accordance with the DLAD 52-213-9000. Also, the break range for the automated evaluation of the buyer. User range drops on the manual evaluation queue. Solicitation, we may put price quotes and etc. remarks section. Alright, utilizing remarks block for the quantity of the breaks of the T and U solicitation preclude with the receipt of the automated award. You have currently downloaded our solicitation request for proposal initial bid and request for quote searching. Help is fine with a request proposal initial for bid and other requests for proposals. Searching fine RFP, IFP, or other than RFQ. Searching help. What should I do with contact having trouble with the Dibbs? Contact the Dibbs Help Desk, Dibbs feedback form. What do I contact having trouble with the C folders? Question. For additional answer to the Department of Law, DLA product data customer service through the helpline 1804. 279-347. The use of the message representative to get back as soon as possible. Require additional technical data. Not supply original solicitation contract. Must contact the contract specialist. And that was your frequently asked questions and help menu for your Dibbs BSML DLA.M reference help frequently asked question default. We'll cut the tape there.